Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. We are, let's see. All right, we got some high impact news coming in at 8:45. We also, it looks like we now have some 8:50 news, which is Trump speaking. That's medium impact news. We got low impact news at, oh no, medium impact news at 9 as well. Good morning, Amelia. Good morning, Applejacks. Good morning, good morning. So quite a lot of news this morning. Let's see if it moves the market very much. Let's see, is this where we change to a downtrend? It is. Okay. All right, let's see what today brings. I want to go to Forex Factory real quick. All right, yeah. So 8:45 high impact news, 8:50 medium, 9 a.m. medium, and that's it for this morning for me. Powell will be speaking at 11:35 a.m. and that's about it. Then Trump speaks again tonight. Oh, there was 22. That's right, but I think this is supposed to be 20. Okay. We are already pushing new lows. Value area is pretty small. Plus my market structure indicator is telling me there's not very much data. So that lets me know that we're pretty, like the range is pretty small for the moment at least. I feel like I'm about to get an earache. All right, so I am going to stop. Let's see. With 8:45 news, I got to stop at 8:43, restart at 8:47, but then I have to stop at 8:48. So really, I probably can't really trade until about 8:52 for about 6 minutes before I have to stop again. But then after the 9 a.m. news, then we'll be good. We will be good from there. No. Apple Jacks, ma'am. Is you all right? Is you cool? Honey. I don't know what he got to say, honey. I must have been grinding my teeth. Like, no, because the pain feel like it's starting in my ear. But it could be from teeth grinding. I don't do it very often, but I feel like it's got to be that because my jaw feels like I can't fully close it on the left. You like my hair? Thank you. Did it myself. You know, ever since I chopped so much of it off last week, we're going to be in braids for quite a bit. I was thinking about doing some mini twists, but I don't know how girls keep mini twists in their hair for like 3 or 4 weeks, because I feel like, first of all, mine are way too frizzy by week 2. Maybe I need to use a better mousse. You know what? I think I could do it if I use the Miel mousse. Or maybe the Dew mousse. I don't know. Because the mousse I have like the traditional like wrapping lotion mousse, just because I like the way it smells and it doesn't make my hair really sticky. But yeah, but I also feel like my hair just starts to like lock on itself if it's up for that long. So I don't know. But I do want to do some mini twists. We'll see. Yeah, I did it myself. Thank you. Thank you. Looks thinner than it used to be. Great way to start my day. Mom, is you cool? All right. You know, moms and grandmas sometimes think they could just say whatever they want. No, but yeah, Amelia, it's funny because I had to learn very early in life how to braid my own hair, because my mom used to braid everybody's hair. Me, my sister, all my cousins who wanted their hair braided, like everybody. So eventually I'm like, okay, well, when I want my hair done, unfortunately, you doing so and so's hair. So I don't really like that. So I was just like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to learn. And then eventually it started to like hurt her back standing up so long. Cause she used to do everything like micro braids, which took forever. She just would do all kinds of stuff. But I stopped getting my hair braided like when I was way younger though, because, well, at least with fake hair, because I was always allergic to whatever chemicals they use to process the hair. So yeah, eventually I just learned how to part my hair. It ain't always the most perfect, but I ain't going nowhere. Who gonna judge me, boo? Probably everybody, but I don't care. But my parts are pretty straight though, for the most part. What's some mousse I bought online? I'm gonna have to find it later. Ooh, yes, let me know. Cause I did like I said, I really like the one from Miel from the pomegranate line. I really love it. Like it makes my hair really shiny, but it can be a little sticky, but that also helped my twist to stay longer. Um the Dew Mousse I think is cool as well. I don't know. I don't know. But I think I'm gonna do twists next week though, and probably, like I said, try to keep it up for like 2 weeks. I watched a video last night of a girl talking about how I keep my mini twist in for a month. First of all, I can't do my twist too small anyway, cause my hair texture is definitely gonna lock on itself. Um, and also I'm not gonna take all that time. And she said hers was mini. Hers was not mini twist, but it still took her 8 hours. Ma'am, my hair has been as long as hers has been, and it didn't take me no damn 8 hours. Maybe 2.5. Good morning, New. How are you this morning? Good morning, good morning. This left ear is gonna bother me. Did he post? Oh, I gotta see if my friend posted this thing. He probably didn't. All right. Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? Mish Beauty Mousse. I think I used theirs. I'm pretty sure I just returned it. No. Yeah. Okay, no. Have I used their mousse? I know I just returned that tropical oasis gel. I just don't like washing goes on my hair. My hair is so like in washing goes it just turns out too frizzy. And I just don't like the way my hair feels. Why is this not posting? Hello? All right. But I feel like no, you know what? I did try their mousse. And there was something about it that I didn't like. But I don't remember what it was. You hated their gel? I think for me, I just have to come to the realization that I just don't like washing goes on my hair. But I also think that a big problem is maybe it'll work better if I used it on damp hair instead of soaking wet hair, since I did just learn recently that my hair doesn't really like anything being applied like in the shower while soaking wet. Because I feel like when I used to do wash and goes back in the day, I always did it on damp hair and I liked the way it turned out, except I just didn't like, my hair just felt like it was just too dry. I don't like that feeling. I just don't. Even if I break the cast, I just don't. And I feel like I just get a whole bunch of single strand knots for no reason as well. Maybe I'll retry the mousse with twist though. But I definitely returned that $25 gel. I sure did. I got it in the mail one day, did the wash and go the next day, took it back the following day. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. All right, there's the Trump speaking news event. Normally, I'm cool. Like, after 2 minutes is fine. Even if he starts speaking and, we have some random spike in volume and volatility, I don't think I've ever been caught in anything. Even though I just wait the first 2 minutes, even if that person is like not speaking yet and stuff like that, I think usually I'm fine. So I need to get that over there. So we'll see. Yeah, $25, and I think the gel might have been 8 ounces, maybe. Took it right on back. But I mean, a little did go a long way, but nah. No. Eight ounces, that better be a gallon, period. Especially when there's so many cheaper gels out here. Now, I think the only gel that I actually like on my hair is one from a brand called Uncle Funky's Daughter. Like, I think it's called Curly Magic or something like that. I haven't used it in years, but I did used to like that one. Because it didn't give your hair like a super hard cast. Okay, market, let's see. Where the market is right now. All right, I would have to do a pullback because we have two higher highs with a lower low in the middle. Hopefully we have decent movement after 9 o'clock. We'll see. Oh yeah, let's see. 22 times 5 minus 5. Wait, no. It's 4, probably. What is that? Oh, that's the VWAP. Okay. All right. I hate when it does this. Higher high, lower low, higher high, back to a lower low. Like, pick a struggle. Y'all, I took a nice little nap yesterday and I was actually extremely tired by 10:30, but I had to wait till like 3 a.m. to go to sleep because I knew if I went to sleep even if I'm super tired that early, baby, I was gonna be right back up at 1 a.m., not being able to go back to sleep until 7 a.m. and having to wake up at 8. It was so terrible. Like, I was extremely tired. But I couldn't risk it. I couldn't. Please verify your... Alright, gotta stop for news again in like a minute and a half. That would pause versus 51. This lady made a long post saying, I want y'all to stop having kids. As a special education paraprofessional, my heart is breaking. Kids aren't learning their letters, their numbers, or colors, or how to read. Kids can't write in script or cursive. Kids have no proper manners. You guys are so hell-bent on dressing your kids in the flyest, but kids don't know their sounds, numbers, or letters. They can't read a full sentence by themselves. They have no concept of learning or lack comprehension. My 5-year-old kindergartner has come in every day with his hair matted. His parents were told to pack him a lunch along with him eating school lunch because their kid is starving every day, but they stopped packing lunch. My kid doesn't know his letters past H, can't hold a pencil. What we try to correct in 7 hours, you parents reverse in 18 hours. Lazy, raising iPad kids. A lot of y'all are social media parents. No quality time, no proper diet or meals, no proper clothing, no proper hygiene, no proper bedtimes. We see the neglect. Please, as a parent, ask for help. As a paraprofessional, I'll make lunches. I'll carry wipes. I'll do hair. I'll read with them. Just do your part or speak the fuck up. I'm going home hysterical every day because how can I change what these generation parents, I think she meant what this generation's parents and the generation after me are proven to be horrendous parents. My kindergartner is coming in with matted hair. Today, no lunchbox, no water bottle, no jacket. He's physically frustrated. He'll probably soon be listed under autistic. I'm just so mentally and physically drained because this is the worst generation of parents I've ever come across. Y'all can cap for this app, but the real world sees it. Do better. I cannot tell you guys how many I can't tell you how many kindergarten teachers, or just, yeah, kindergarten teachers for the most part. I guess she's not technically a teacher, but she still deals with kindergartners who are saying the same thing. Kids don't need, they're talking about how kids don't even know their government name, don't know how to spell their name, don't know. I saw one lady said that not only did most of the kids in her kindergarten class not know their ABCs, as in being able to point out that what letter is what. She said the majority of those kids didn't even know the ABCs to be able to sing with the song. Like, they don't even know the ABC song. That's insane. But it's been setting up like that for years. Like, one of my old basketball teammates, she used to teach elementary school, and I think she might have just started going back as a substitute teacher, but she stopped for like 5 or 6 years because she was over it. She's like, I can just tell that parents are not doing what they're supposed to do at home. And unfortunately, a lot of parents have this misconception that everything that they're supposed to learn in school. And yeah, they are to a certain extent, but I'm pretty sure you had a thing called homework. There's certain learning that you have to do at home as well. Like, my mama didn't play that, okay? By the time I was 2.5, I knew my name. I knew how to count up to like 100. I knew all of my ABCs by sight. I knew the song obviously as well. I also started to learn math at 2.5 years old, like basic addition and subtraction. I knew my parents' government name. I knew my address. I knew my phone number. Like, there was so many things that I knew at such a young age. My shapes, my colors. And I'm talking about like beyond the basic shapes and colors. Like, my mother did not play that. We actually, when I was growing up, we had this thing called parents as teachers. I don't know if people had this like all over the country. I have no idea. But there was a woman, and I always forget her name because I was a baby. But up until I was probably like maybe 4 years old, she would come to the house, I think once a week. My mom has video of when she used to come to the house, and my mom did homework, all that learning stuff with us as well. But that was just like additional help because it was me and my sister. And, they would do things like the way my mom would do stuff to teach us and that lady was they would make it into a game. So let's say that they have flashcards with numbers or letters and things like that. They would have it somewhere across the room, and it would be like, okay, go get the letter such and such for me. And for me, I loved games, so it was a great way for me to learn. And she would also have us do just different things like trying to spin a top, just different, things that worked on your hand-eye coordination and stuff like that. I've been telling my grandma for a long time, you can just tell that a lot of kids are being raised by iPads and phones. You can tell. And I told my grandma, I said, if you go to YouTube and you look at the number of views that like content that are created for kids have versus content that's made for adults, you would almost never see adult content have 165 million views, 500 million views, just millions and millions of views. That lets you know how many millions of parents are allowing iPads to raise their children. Because why does children content have this many views? Only children watch it. That's a problem. Good morning, Trenches. How are you this morning? Good morning, good morning. But yeah, it's insane. It's insane. And I get it. Like, first of all, I think that a lot of people wanted kids but didn't want to be parents. Like the lady said, a lot of people are social media parents. As much as some people are, I didn't really want to be a parent this early. I didn't want. Yes, you did, because baby, I'm 35. I don't have no kids. I've never had kids taken out of me either. I knew that I wasn't, even though I was always ready for kids, like at the same time, I didn't want to have kids yet. So guess what? And I've only been on birth control 1 year of my entire life. Okay. So if you didn't want to have kids, you would have figured it out. This is not the old days like when my grandma was young. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no excuse for this crap. And I also, you know, I feel like our generation, at least, a lot of people still want to be out in the clubs every weekend, out here, there, and everywhere. Baby, the weekend was supposed to be for cleaning the house, catching up on homework, teaching your kids stuff, catching up with family, stuff like that. Y'all don't have no time for y'all kids at all. At all. I don't understand it. They wanted kids, but they didn't really want them. No, they did not. Like, having a kid and being a parent are two totally different things. And I don't think a lot of them realize that. But see, I started babysitting when I was about 10 years old. My bonus dad, that's when his son was born. And I'm talking like at 10 years old, I would keep, he's like my little brother. I would keep him for a whole weekend. So he's a newborn, and I'm waking up in the middle of the night to feed him bottles and stuff like that. Like, I just loved kids, and I've been doing that since I was 10 years old. So if I had children, no matter what age I had children, I knew what to do, and I would know that that is what I want to do because I have the experience of doing so. You know, having a kid 24, that's not an easy thing. And I think that, like I said, some of these people wanted kids, but they didn't want to be parents. I'm over 40 and I've never wanted kids. Really? See, I've always loved kids. It's not just it's the content being watched. I can see if it's exposing them. Absolutely. And sometimes it is exposing them to educational content. But I also think that some of the parents don't realize that some of these shows are not geared towards helping some of these kids actually like retain the information that they're learning because of the way that it's being taught. Like, for instance, Miss Rachel. That is a show that a lot of kids love, right? Cool. I think her content is great, right? But at the same time, the way that she teaches, I think it's her tone of voice that makes kids really like her, which is fine. But her tone of voice also makes it to where people don't realize that their kids are not every kid, obviously, but some kids are not retaining the information because she speaks to them in a baby voice. In real life, it's not like that, unfortunately. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, some of it's educational. But at the same time, kids are still not retaining some of that information, right? And then a lot of kids, let's see. And then a lot of kids, kids learn differently, right? And I think that some parents don't realize, because some parents, again, try to put everything on the teacher, right? When you have so many kids in the class, it's almost impossible for you to be able to teach in a way that resonates with every kid. So some parents don't realize that, your kid is behind because the way that they need to be taught is not the way it's being taught in school. And so you have to be able to reiterate that information at home. You have to. And then also, the other problem with a lot of these YouTube shows that people allow their kids to watch, even if it's educational, because a lot of them are causing attention disorders. Okay. They are also causing behavioral disorders because of how colorful, not only just how colorful the shows are, but if you watch some of these kids shows, you'll notice that a lot of them change scenes like every 2 to 3 seconds, usually no more than 3 seconds. It's a new scene. So you have a new scene every 2 to 3 seconds. Plus you have these super vibrant colors that are on the screen at all times. It's causing attention disorders. Basically the same way that adult content creators like gaming creators and stuff like that, they change scenes all the time to help people to help hold people's attention. That's what these kids shows are doing. My ear hurts so bad. That's what these kids shows are doing. And that's a problem, because real life is not about a whole bunch of colors and doing things to keep your attention. That's why these kids are bored in class. They're causing disturbances. They can't pay attention for shit because that's what they're used to. You think about the shows when we were younger, Sesame Street, Barney, none of that shit was super colorful. None of that stuff has scenes that are changing every 2 or 3 seconds. And this is stuff that's scientifically proven, you know? And so that's also causing issues as well. It's just a whole lot of issues. They just need to be honest with themselves. Yeah, pregnancy can literally be deadly due to these extreme laws. Exactly, Janelle. That's the other problem now. Now I don't. As much as I want kids, I'm like, no. Saw a recent story about children was found locked in a storage unit by their parents. Baby, let me tell you, NBA YoungBoy, the rapper, just came here this past weekend. This guy recorded a video. He was walking, I think he was going to his car to smoke or something and come back, or go to his car and take a shot. I don't know. But on his way back to his car, he took a video of 2 kids sleep in a car. Mind you, it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Also, mind you, the concert was down in, regardless of where it was, whether it was in the city, the county, downtown, whatever, the boy in the front looked like he was no more than about maybe 10 to 12. And then there was a younger kid in the back. In the car, while their parents, probably a woman, was in a concert. So this guy reposted it yesterday. This guy in St. Louis reposted it yesterday. This girl comments like, I don't really see what the problem is. He looks like he's at the age where he can be in a car by himself. So dude's like, are you serious? She's like, I'm very serious. The law says that a kid can be in a car by themselves as long as that kid is 12 years old, at least 12 years old. First of all, the kid in the back was not 12. But either way, this is the problem right here. Because regardless of what the law says, you think that it's okay for your child to be in the car by themselves at 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, where there's a lot of carjackings, robberies, kidnappings. Ma'am, are you serious? If you can't find somebody to watch your children for you to go to the concert, maybe the concert is where you're not supposed to be. Because nobody in their right mind would leave a child, 2 children at that, in a car by themselves to go to a fucking concert. That's insane. Yeah. You're right about $300. Yeah, I don't really see anything that I like, honestly. Switching back to up down tick, I think takes away some of my options. However, like I said before, I noticed that with up down tick, it groups more of the trades together in like one volume and order flow combination. So I think I'll like it better long term. But also a lot of my examples are from 16 tick charts, probably out of maybe like 32 trading days. I think maybe about, I would say 25 of them are from 16 tick charts. So I think that even though the 20 and 24 tick charts do paint some of the same patterns, I also think that I don't get them as often because of most of my examples coming from a 16 tick chart. So I just have to gather more data from some of the other order flow and volume combinations. But yeah, they canceled his Chicago show. Oh wow. Posted online but didn't report it to the cops. I feel like he said he was gonna call the police, but he just like took the video or whatever and ended up posting it online. But I'm pretty sure he said he was calling the police though. But it just is insane. And I just can't believe that the one girl was trying to justify it with laws versus like, what would happen if this lady came back out and her car was gone and so were her kids? Or her car was gone and her kids are laid out shot on the street? Or her car was gone and, you know, kidnapped the kids and never saw her kids again, all because you wanted to go to a goddamn concert? I just don't. Where's the common sense? That'd be my problem. Where's the common sense? There is none. Oh, I might want to get into this, but I need the delta to stay efficient. So if it, let's get to one on. What a switch. Did it switch back? Yeah. I just need the delta to be efficient though. No, that's actually not what I want. Stupid. I wanted the point of control to stay high, but it dropped down, so I had to get out of that. Am I still in a trade? Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. Oh, I forgot I got the total P&L on my screen now too. I used to only have the unrealized just to make sure I'm not in a trade anymore. Yep. As soon as it moved down to the body, it invalidated itself. So I would still be in the trade right now. And there would be the loss. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna, well, no, I'll keep it on for now. Trenches, why'd they cancel his Chicago show? Are we gonna try again? Let's see. Interesting. All right, so that means this is going to turn into divergence. They trying. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, well, on that girl's body that was found in the singer's car, child, he did it. Either he did it or he had somebody do it. I heard he canceled the rest of his tour or something. But people was trying to say he was on tour, so there's no way he could have did it. What? The thing is, I want to know. I would not be surprised if the little girl's pregnant or was pregnant. Would not be surprised in any capacity. She's been missing for what, a year and a half? I think since April of last year. A lot of pictures, at least initially, that were posted by him of her, or when she was, in pictures or whatever, most of her face was covered, or like half of her face was covered because she was a missing child. I saw some stupid person say, well, she had the same tattoo as him on his finger. What if she was just a deranged fan? And shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. No. We not even finna do that. Yeah, he need to be locked up for life. He needed to be locked up beforehand, before she turned up dead. But yeah, I think either he did it or somebody in his camp, because why was your Tesla abandoned? Who abandons a Tesla? No. Mm-mm. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she's pregnant. A lot of predators like that, everything is fine and dandy with what they're doing until the little girl gets pregnant, because then you can't hold your secret in anymore. So I wouldn't be surprised. The National Guard. His song lyrics are a bit dement. So I haven't listened to his song lyrics yet, because there was two specific songs people were talking about. One of them was what, Romantic Homicide, or I think that's the name of it, Romantic Homicide or something like that. And then there was another one that I think they said was really demented, which if I'm not mistaken, she was in the music video or something. But I haven't had the chance to actually listen to the video or listen to the song. He was hanging out with a child. Let's start there. Gotta stop defending people that might have killed people. I swear. I never understand. And let me tell you something. I'm a very open-minded person, and I try to understand where most people are coming from with anything. I really honestly do. And I've always been a really understanding person, but I feel like after working in psych for so long, and more specifically like working in long-term psych and understanding how people's upbringings affect their brains, how it contributes sometimes to psych disorders and things like that, I really try to understand people, and I do it from a place of not giving anybody an excuse, but legitimately knowing how certain things are and how it affects people. I really just try to understand people. That's it. That's all. I don't understand how some people are saying some of the things that they are saying to try to defend this motherfucker. I don't get it. I truly do not get it, and I'm not going to. I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah, it's just crazy to me. It's crazy. Oh, I thought we were in a trap here. But you know what? That's gonna switch pretty soon. All right, market, just give me something. It's like 2 days of trash. We turned into the trap, but the delta wasn't efficient though anyway. So I wouldn't have been able to take it. If celebrities and it's sick. Oh, absolutely. Didn't think they were gonna find a car that can be tracked. And on top of that, because they abandoned it, you know, somebody called on it, they took it to the impound, and because of the smell, naturally, it was like, okay, well, what's going on here? I just, you know what really gets me about people who commit crimes? And I'm not saying that I'm going to commit crimes, but this is just what I don't understand. We have too many crime shows out here that give you exact details of where people messed up. How can you mess up? I don't get it. And I'm just talking about any kind of crime. It's like, baby, somebody this weekend killed somebody in one of our local grocery stores, okay? And where is it at? Oh, they might close our Six Flags. Let me see if I can find this picture, because I need y'all to see. I want y'all to see if I can find it. I thought it was Voice of the People. Maybe I can't. Maybe it wasn't them that posted it. I don't remember. Okay, it must not have been Voice of People. I have to find it. But yeah, somebody killed somebody inside of our local grocery store chain. And when I tell you those cameras are clear as day, they are 100% clear as day. You have to literally not even attempt to care about your own life for you to commit crimes in places where you know there are cameras everywhere. I mean, his face is so clear, it's insane. And at a time where it's legal for you to, you know, you can wear masks. I mean, you can't wear scullies or nothing, but you didn't even attempt to cover your face. I don't understand. I don't. Apparently they met when she was 13 as a little girl. You think she was being trafficked? I wonder. Because I don't know, just based on pictures that I've seen of them, it honestly just seemed like she was his girlfriend. But I don't, you know, you just never know. Because it also looked like Cassie was Diddy's girlfriend. And good morning, Dale 0015. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, good morning. How goes it? You know, it looked like Cassie was Diddy's girlfriend, and look what he was doing to her. Pimping her out. So yeah, you never know. Got a no buzz on him in Chicago since King Von death. Defend any that has been assaulted are the ones that are trafficked. Yeah. Woman killed her rapist and they found her guilt and threw her in jail. That was fed up. Yeah. I hate stories like that because, like, I get it, but it just sucks because at the end of the day, the law is still the law and she still got to go to jail for it. But I don't know. Sometimes with that kind of stuff, I wish that they could just kind of like get off on not guilty by reason of insanity, because some people really do, not from like a clinical standpoint, they're not insane, but from just the constant, like the trauma and the way it constantly fills your brain and affects you in so many different areas of life. It can make a person go insane even though they're not clinically like insane from a psychological standpoint. But it's unfortunate that people who get revenge like that, especially like we ain't talking about street gang violence revenge, you know what I'm saying? People who get revenge like that on people who have traumatized them, I hate that they still have to like go to jail and stuff for that. He was trying to prove a point that he can go anywhere. My little bro walked in with a shiesty. He got straight punched. Not with a shiesty mask on. Why is you walking in your parents' house like that? Your peers still convict a person knowing they was trafficked. Yeah, it's survival, exactly. Because some people just, until you already have to deal with the thought process of like, this can happen to me again, whether it's from this same person or someone else. But some people don't feel safe again until that person who did it is gone. And jail ain't enough for some people. And I get it. I definitely get it. Like, I had an old basketball teammate. We played together when I first started playing basketball when I was about 7 or 8 years old. And we ended up going to high school together. Actually, a couple of people from that team, we ended up going to high school together, even though we did not go to elementary or middle school together. It was so crazy. But anyway, while we were still in high school, she worked at this local ice cream shop. And for whatever reason, I never understand stuff like this. Why would you have a high schooler, especially a woman or a little girl, whatever you want to call them, why would you have them closing? You don't think people come in there, especially people like this, come in there and scout out that, oh, this is a little girl who's here late at night by herself. So she ended up getting kidnapped. And they didn't take her out of state or anything. She was still in town, but I feel like they took her downtown and like on top of a building or something. And I don't know, this was back when I was in high school. So, you know, a lot of us were just getting phones in high school. I honestly didn't get a phone until I was in 10th grade. And that was only because I had to go to Mizzou for 2 weeks for this Missouri Scholars Program or whatever. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had a phone. So I don't know if he just didn't check that she had a phone or what. But he left her alone for like a short period of time and she was able to call police. But I could not imagine going through something like that, period. But especially at that young age, baby, I would never want to work again. Or wherever I go work, if I have to physically work in a store or in an office, whatever, like I'm making it very clear that I am never closing. And I feel like you should not pass judgment on me. And there should be no arguing here. This is my backstory. You could go see it on the news. You can see it wherever you need to, somewhere online. You can see that I've gone through this. I should never have to close ever. Ever. Yeah, total BS. And I feel so sorry for people when I hear stories like that anyway, but especially because I knew her personally. She was like the sweetest person ever. And to go through something like that, I just can't even imagine even what kind of damage that does to somebody's like personality, just different things. Like you completely change a person when you cause traumatic situations like that. But that was like the scariest thing ever. After that, when I got into real estate, I refuse. If it was after a certain time, baby, no, we're not going to look at shit. Most of the time, if somebody wanted to go look at something like after about 5 o'clock, handed it off to somebody else. If you wanted to go anywhere outside of the county, probably would not do that either. Handed that person off to somebody else. Like, I remember one time, I don't know if I ever told y'all this story, but I would never take clients if they wanted to buy a house in the city, even if it was like an investment property, whatever. So I had this one client who was hell-bent on getting an investment property in the city because, you can get a house for like 15 grand, put about maybe 90 to 100 into it and have a really nice rental property, just kind of depending on, the damage to the property, whatever. So because I had been working with this person for a minute, I felt comfortable. It was a man. I felt comfortable meeting up with him and taking him to go see a couple of properties down there, as long as it was during the daytime. Like I'm talking like 12 o'clock in the afternoon type shit. I was cool with it. So We go to this house. It's a $15,000 house. It is a 2.5 story, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was a 3 story, maybe. I don't know. Either way. So nowhere in the description of this house does it tell you this information I'm about to tell you. And I feel like this should have been in the description of the house. So we're on the top floor. We've gone through each level of the house, whatever, seeing the damage. He's assessing how much it's going to cost to, fix the house up or whatever. So I open up the door to one of the rooms in the very top level, and I'm just walking. Something tells me to look down. I took a couple of steps, looked down, and glad I did, because I would have been on the next floor. It was a huge hole. I'm talking like the majority of the floor in that room wasn't even there. I could have broke my leg. I could have fucked myself. I could have died. Who knows? I would have fell straight to the next level. I said, oh yeah, I think that was the last property I ever showed in the city, because hell no, they got me fucked. No. How stupid the store manager to tell an underage kid to close. Very stupid. A lot of economic news right now with Trump talking. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I still just haven't seen anything that I like. That's why I'm just kind of sitting here. And then we're kind of like bunched up in between levels too, which I'm not a fan of either. Oh. Who is that? Oh, my other cousin. Hi, can you share how you solve the lag issues with the footprint chart from TD? Yes. Hello, Evie San. You must have saw my crazy post in the Trade Devils group, huh? So, Evie, do you trade with Renkos or do you trade with a time-based chart? Let's start there. You could have broken your back, baby. I probably would have been paralyzed. Dropping a whole floor. Why wasn't that mission? I don't know. When I tell you I was so pissed, and then mind you, at the time I was doing real estate, I was still in nursing school. And I was playing basketball for my D2 college. So I would have definitely, that would have messed up I would have had to sue them people. They would have messed up my whole life. It was crazy. But yeah, that was the last city property I ever showed, because, nope. We ain't even doing it. Look how the point of control is literally right on the VWAP. You use a range chart? Okay, so I wonder if you need the version that I have. So I think that there are... Okay, wait. First of all, did you update to the latest version? I think it's 2.0.0.14. I think she did, Amelia, but I'm not sure. Very nice short on YM. Yeah, Evie, are you on the most up-to-date? Because I think that there's a possibility that there's 2 versions of the indicator. I think I have my own special version because of me being on Renko's. There was something in the coding that needed to be fixed in order for it to not cause issues on Renko's. And I got this version before they released 2.0.0.14. But I don't know if the public version is the same exact version as the one I have. But I think that they're different. And I think they're different because one of the support people who I've asked plenty of times to stop trying to help me, because he's not a coder, he said, oh, I finally have access to the version you have. You have a 1 second delay at the moment and always above. Okay, wait. So let's move back though. Let me see. My bread and butter, 5-minute lower highs. Nice, Amelia. How many points did you get out of it? Okay, so Evie, wait, let's take a step back. Because it could be the Trade Devil's indicator, but it also could be a data syncing problem. I mean, yeah, a time syncing problem. Do you, by chance, do you have the Meinberg protocol installed on your computer to make sure that your clocks are synced? Because the way that, like, if you go through the Windows settings and just put the time sync on there, it's going to always fall out of sync. There's a certain program that you need to use in order to always keep your time clock in sync. And that is why I knew that it was the indicator that was causing me problems, because without the indicator and with the application that I use to keep the clocks in sync, everything was in sync except, the data lag issue that was being caused by the indicator. Yes, Simon, I don't like him helping me. I've asked him plenty of times, do not talk to me. Nothing against him, but if you're not a coder, and I'm specifically talking about a coding issue, don't talk to me. You can't help me. He actually pissed me off this weekend, and I had to respectfully tell him, respectfully, you're the reason why I had to deal with data lag issues for a whole month, because you kept suggesting things that had nothing to do with what my problem was. It was a coding problem. And had you given my problem to the developer, I wouldn't have had to deal with severe lag issues for a whole month. Okay. So you got 50, but then it's down 100 again. Wait, it's down 100 from your entry or your exit? Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna come into the YouTube chat real quick, and I'm gonna post a link for you, and I want you to try this first, because this is probably your actual issue, because I think the issue I had is specifically for Renko's. Hold on, I got you. I'm gonna post a YouTube video, and I want you to follow the exact steps in this YouTube video, and this should fix your problem. Hold on, I gotta come into the chat. And then if this doesn't fix your issue, then you know it's the indicator. All right, there's the link to the video. Watch it, follow his steps to the T, and now you will no longer, once you do what he says, you'll no longer have to ever worry about syncing your clocks manually. They'll always be synced to the world clock that NinjaTrader uses, so you won't have an issue with that. And then, like I said, if you still have a data lag issue from that, you can reach out to me on Discord. Just inbox me. My name is the same as here, Keamber Trades. Just inbox me on Discord, and then I can give you the version that I have, but you probably just have a time syncing issue. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Your version. Okay. So they do have a newer version. So you might want to also download the newest version as well. I do know for sure that the newest version puts in the ability for you to customize the start time of the volume profile, because the way that it was coded before I brought this up, I don't know why nobody ever brought this up, but I noticed that, at least on my Renkos, I don't know if it was like this for everything else, that my value area high and low were always like somehow being outside of where today's data even was. And so after sitting with that for like a couple weeks, I noticed that it was because it was calculating the value area for the volume profile based on all of the data on the chart. I don't have just one day of data loaded. I always use 3, because that's the number of days I like for my pivot indicator that I have. And so version 0.14 will solve that issue by allowing you to choose what you want your start and end time to be for the volume profile. So that should help with that. But I think there's a couple of other things that he fixed in there as well. But like I said, I think your issue might actually be a time sinking thing because of how many seconds you said that you were dealing with. For me, I knew it was the indicator because my data lag, they will tell you, would be like 30 seconds, a minute. It was a couple of times where I could not trade because from the time I turned my charts on and for like the first 30 minutes of being on the charts, I had a 2-minute lag, 3-minute lag, 5-minute lag. Like it was severe. It wasn't like 1 second. You know what I mean? But yeah, from your exit, that's insane, Amelia. So it went 150 points from your entry. That's great. That's a nice trade. Amelia, how do you determine your exits? Do you just like always do a certain number of like, let's say a 1-to-1, or do you always put your TP at like the next level? How do you determine when you exit out of a trade? Oh, that's the end of the session for me. Yeah, today was ugh. I mean, it wasn't trash or anything. Wait a minute. Oh, I forgot because I'm multiplying contracts over there. All right, well, at least I got a trade in today, but technically not really because it wasn't valid. Since the point of control moved right before the bar closed. I don't even remember where the trade was. I just know it would have lost if I stayed in the trade. Oh, here. It was this sell here, which was just a pullback, higher high to a lower high, which had I stayed in the trade would have lost, but it invalidated itself once the point of control moved from the wick to the body. But yeah, I mean, today just really didn't have very much that I was looking for, unfortunately. Like I said, I think now with me really sticking to the higher, well, I guess it's high for me because I'm just so used to a 16 tick chart. I just have to recognize that I might not get as many setups as the 16 tick chart, which is fine. But days like yesterday and today are exactly why I am a huge proponent of like not stopping at a certain profit, because if there's a couple of days where the market is just not giving me the conditions that I like, it's not painting the consistent patterns that I typically see. If there's a day where I have 10 setups, baby, I'm trying to take all 10 because eventually it's going to average out to like, okay, 3 per day kind of thing, which is kind of what my goal is, to be like +2 or +3 trades per day, accounting for losses and stuff like that. So this is exactly why when I do have a lot of setups, I want to be able to take every single one because I'm on limited time. And unfortunately, recently, I feel like a lot of times the best movement is after I'm off the charts, but I'm not going to subject myself to sitting through shit. Because even though I was getting a lot of setups after 9:45, the spacing between the trades were so great. It's not like, oh, if I just sit here for another 45 minutes, I'll get some good movement in the next 45 minutes to be able to get a couple of trades in. No, it's like a trade here, wait an hour and a half, a trade here, wait 2 hours. I'm not doing it. It's all right. I'm cool. You might need to check out YM. You do a 1-to-2. I like my 50-point exits. Yeah. There's a guy who I watch tweaking trades, who one of his biggest problems is that he just refuses to take a base hit, which is crazy because a base hit for his strategy is about 50 points. And this past week, most of the trades that he got into got to about 50 points. He trades Nasdaq, but it got to about 50 points, if I'm not mistaken, 30 to 50 points. And he just refused to take. He would move his take profit to like 100, and I think one time he moved it to like 150 points. What is your obsession with getting that many points? When did 50 points not, like, when did it become not enough? I'm so confused. And it's not like he's trading 1 micro. I think he's been trading maybe 5 micros, and 50 points is a lot. I don't understand. I don't understand. I gotta do the work so it hits and done for the day. 50 points is nice. Sounds like a good strat symbol, yeah. Was just break even down 100. This short is playing around. Where's your entry at? Oh wait, you said that, but it just broke down. Yeah, where's your entry? Yeah, Janelle, listen. There are people whose content I just love consuming because I like watching people who are showing me their journey. And he clearly, part of his journey is not being greedy. He goes on tilt a lot too. And I love the way he produces his videos too. Like he's really good with video production. And he just does a simple video every Sunday to show you all the trades that he took for the week and his sessions and stuff. But it's just, he's one of those people where I don't understand how you can record, not just record, but edit the videos to put them on YouTube and watch how crazy you look when you go on tilt and keep going on tilt every week. He'll be like, he's been starting off the week pretty good with like being able to take he still struggles with taking a loss, but being able to say, hey, I just didn't have setups today. He's been doing better with that, because before he would like just completely force trades because he's just bored kind of thing. So he's been getting better with that. But if Monday and Tuesday, kind of like with me, if Monday and Tuesday were no trade days, oh baby, by Wednesday, oh, he's gonna go crazy. He's gonna go crazy. And he'll do something where, say, he'll get into a trade, he'll move his take profit and it'll hit where his original take profit was. And then he'll move his stop loss to break even. It'll hit his break even. So now he's pissed because it hit his break even and went back up or something like that. And so then he'll say something like, oh, well, now I'm irritated because this just hit my break even. And so I thought I was going to be patient, but nope. Now I'm going to get into a sell, and now I'm going to get into a buy. He'll just keep flipping back and forth in prices in like the same little range or something. He just, bless his little heart. But he is making progress. He is, because when I first started watching him, I was like, oh my God, this is a disaster. And the crazy thing is, he actually has a decent strategy. He just refuses to be patient. And for people like him, I just don't understand why he doesn't go to either like a lower time frame, because I feel like if you have a problem with patience and your strategy works pretty decent on a smaller or lower time frame, go to the lower time frame, get your couple of trades in and get on out of there. And at 50 I can get a few times a day. Oh, that's nice, Amelia. Nice. Amelia, I'm not finna play with you. I'm not. I'm not. So Trenches, so your entry's at 960. Where's your TP at? And what time did you get into the trade? Oh, my ear hurts so bad. Amelia, you are crazy. No, it's not. There's actually, honestly, surprisingly, a lot of people who refuse to take 50 points, who refuse to take 25 points. There are people who trade on small tick charts or small range charts who just refuse to take 25 points. And I don't understand why. The trolling is real around here. I don't understand why. And I just don't understand when 25 points just became not enough. But I also think that it's kind of a problem with people who pay too much attention to other people on social media. They see people who are catching 100-point moves and they want to, like, when I saw that man move his TP from 50 points to 150 or 160, I say, yeah, he's just crazy. What do you want, the bragging rights of being at? It's just like people who pride themselves on being counter trend traders. I feel like part of it is ego, because you just want to be able to post and say, look, I caught the bottom. look, I caught the top. And they will blame it on, well, the trend is not my friend because when I get into trades that go with the trend, then it reverses. Or maybe you're just always late. That could be it too. 1 minute charts and 100 points makes no sense to me. Me neither. Me neither. I don't get it at all. And the crazy thing is they'll want 100 points when the market, let's say the market is ranging. It could be that, or it could be something where like on their time-based chart, structure doesn't even tell them that the market even, not to say it can move, but it's just not even showing that 100 points is even something you should be going for. People trade in ways that just really honestly confuse me, and I'm not kidding. I don't get it. Oh, my ear hurts. I was trying to wait around to see if something would show up, but still nothing. Still nothing. So I think I'm going to call it. I am. All right, you guys. Well, not a horrible day. I mean, I just didn't have any setups, but hopefully the rest of the week. What's the news for the rest of the week? I don't think anything, right? Why am I going to Apex's website? I meant to go to Forex Factory this week. New home sales is tomorrow. Unemployment claims is Thursday. Existing home sales, core PCE. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm not even gonna lie. The last like week and a half has really been tempting me to go back to a 16 tick chart. I just don't want to get hold doing that. Because I feel like it's going to be when I switch back to a 16 tick chart that the market is going to turn into a hot, volatile mess. And then I'm just not going to be able to do anything because now it's too volatile for me to trade. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you guys know tomorrow what I decide to do. We'll see. But yeah, I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:30 Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.